Catlin here. I picked 4 of the problems from NTI Day 3 that I thought you guys might struggle with the most. So I thought I would walk through these 4 problems um, and hopefully it will help you. If not, you can always send me a message and I'll try my best to maybe make another video or help you out. But when you're doing all these problems, you're following PEMDAS. You know, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. When you get to addition, subtraction, work it left or right. Multiplication, division, work it left or right. But we always start looking at groups, parenthesis groups. And 6A, this one that I picked out right here, has 2 groups. You have this bracket group, and inside of that bracket group, a parenthesis group. So when you have 2 groups, you go to the group that's inside the other. So we start with 8 minus 5, which is 3. So that gives us 3 inside the parentheses, 4 still outside, plus the 9. Everything gets copied down. We're still working out inside the group, and we have plus and times. We do multiplication for addition, so 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 9 is inside the group. We still have the 30 to take away. 9 and 12 make 21. And when you take 30 minus 21, you get 9. So for the answer on 6A, you should have 9. And see how I worked it out, showed it step by step. That's what I expect you guys to do on your paper as you're working this out. That took me hardly any time at all just to work that one out. And this is one of the hardest ones that's on there. These are some of the longer, harder ones that I picked out. So many of them are shorter than this. On this next one, we notice we have these big fraction bars. I picked a couple of those. Treat those like a numerator and denominator group. So do everything in the numerator, do everything in the denominator, and then divide last. So for this first one, I'm going to start off with my exponents. 10 squared is 10 times 10, which is 100. And I'm going to go ahead and do 6 squared, 6 times 6, which is 36. Okay, we still have our fraction bar. I'm going to go ahead and do the denominator since it's a separate group than the numerator. 5 minus 3 is 2. I'm going to do another step beyond that and do the subtraction. Remember, we're going to do the long division bar last. And when we subtract 36 from 100, we get 64. 100 minus 36, 4 to get up to 6, so you get 64 in the numerator, and then you get 2 in the denominator, and now we can divide last, and 64 divided by 2 is like taking 64 and cutting it in half, and that's the same as 32, so we get 32 as our answer for that problem. Okay, and I think if you look at the actual worksheet, it has V in front of it, V32. You know, they all have like letters that match them. On 6A, it would have had a 9, which would have had a G in front of it. So you were looking to match it with G9. Okay, let's move on. Next one real quick. Start off in the parentheses. 6 and 4 make 10. After you get parentheses, you're looking to do exponents. You have 2 sets of exponents here. 10 to the 3rd power is not 30. It's 10 times 10 times 10. And 10 times 10 is 100, and 100 times 10 is 1,000. So you actually get 1,000 from all of that when you do 10 to the 3rd power. And another common mistake here is 1 to the 8th power is not 8. It's 1 times 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 1. It doesn't matter how many times you multiply 1 by itself, it's always just going to be 1. So this one is actually turning out to be 999, which I think has an E letter beside it. So 999. All right, and the very last one that we're going to knock out here, we're going to do numerator and denominator and then divide. So in the numerator, exponent, divide, plus will be my order. So exponent, 7 times 7 is 49. I still have the 13 in the division. I'm going to go ahead and do a step in the denominator. I'm going to divide first. So I've got 9 minus 5 plus 16. And now for my next step, I'm going to divide in the numerator. 49 divided by 7 is 7, so I got 13 plus 7 in the numerator. I'm just going to go ahead and do all of this left to right. 9 minus 5 is 4. 4 plus 16 is 20. And I'm going to kind of move this over to the side. 13 plus 7 is 20. 20 divided by 20 is 1. I hope this was helpful. 8A, I think, is S1. So that's 4 answers, if nothing else. And hopefully, you know, this brings back some memories of how to do order of operations. Later, guys.